Hey guys, it's me Amelia. Today I'm going to be doing a top 10 books of 2019 video, and I have seen a lot of tweets on Twitter that are like, everyone is making this video, they're all the same books, can like people be more original? I'm not going to watch any more of these videos because they're all the same books. And I totally agree. This is the YA community. We all read the same books because they're good and we hype them up. And they are good, which is why these books are in everyone's videos. Yeah, a lot of my books are basic and hyped, and everyone already knows them. But also, I do have some books that I don't think a lot of people have read, or I didn't see anyone talk about them. So hopefully that will make up for like the basic ass books. All these books were published in 2019. I read them all in 2019, duh. And I'm gonna rank them, so like number 10 will be my least favorite out of my top 10 favorites, and then number 1 will be my favorite out of my favorites, you know? So number 10 goes to Daisy Jones and the Six, which is sort of a rock and roll coming of age book that's set in the 70s, and we follow this girl named Daisy Jones as she experiences her life as a rock star and goes through things. I read this book on audiobook and I finished it in one day. It was actually really good. This book is definitely a hit or miss. I know a lot of people who did not like this book at all, but I really liked it, and I loved how it explored the theme of whether or not you can help someone who didn't want to be helped, which I felt like I could really relate to. The writing in this book was really good. There were a lot of passages that I had to highlight because it was like amazing. It was also the first book in 2019 where I cried, because this book is so cry-worthy and it was very emotional, and I just love everything about this book. Number 9 goes to Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. It's an urban fantasy that's set in Yale, and it follows this girl Alex as she tries to look for this guy, Daniel Arlington. And the thing is, I really liked this book. The characters were phenomenal. The plot was really good. I feel like the world building was done really well. My only problem with this book is it was boring to read. And it's kind of contradictory because it was boring to read, but it was like an interesting book. So it was interesting enough to keep me going, but while I was reading, like, it was boring to read, if that makes sense. So I wanted to stop reading it so many times, but the plot, like, I needed to find out what happened, which made me finish the book, but like I struggled reading it, you know? But I feel like that's kind of how Leigh Bardugo writes, and like, no offense, but I love the Six of Crows series, but it was kind of boring and hard to get into. The Grisha trilogy as well, like, the books are interesting and the characters are really good, but I feel like her books are just kind of boring to read and hard to get into, if that makes sense. Number 8 goes to The Risk by Elle Kennedy, which is part of the Briar U series. The Risk is a new adult college romance, and it follows this girl who wants to get this sports internship, and during the interview she accidentally blurts out that she's dating this really famous hockey player, but in reality they're actually enemies, sort of. So it's a fake dating book, but she doesn't like him. The Risk was just really good, and I love the fake dating trope, so I really liked this book. Number 7 goes to the beautiful and wonderful Queen of Nothing, which is part of the Cruel Prince series by Holly Black. I'm not gonna get into the plot of this book because I feel like it's so mainstream that everyone knows, but it's fae. It's like a fairy book, and it's romance. I really liked Queen of Nothing. The first 2/3 was really good. I love the characters, I love everything that happened, and it gave me a lot of feelings, and I felt like it lived up to like my anticipation, you know? Like, I anticipated it and I had like an idea of how good it would be, and it lived up to it. But then the last 1/3. Number 6 goes to Sorcery of Thorns, which I don't remember what I freaking god. It's set in a world where books can talk. Wait, what? Grimoires are alive. Oh my god, I hate myself. She accidentally destroys one of the books, and she has to go to like court to stand trial. And there's a sorcerer named Nathaniel Thorne, and she needs his help. That's basically what it's about. And I really liked it. I loved the world building. I love the plot of the book. I think the only thing I didn't like was how the romance, like, I just found the love interest kind of boring. Nathaniel Thorne was a boring love interest. I don't remember anything about him because he was that forgettable. But I do love the plot of the book. Like, it's so unique, which is something I really love. And it was definitely a big improvement from the author's debut novel An Enchantment of Ravens. Number 5 goes to Finale by Stephanie Garber, which is the third book in the Caraval series. And Finale was my favorite book out of all the books in the series. It's Caraval and then Legendary and then Finale. This one was the best one. It was so good. I feel like Caraval was like in the middle. It was like average. Legendary went a bit downhill. And then this book brought the series all the way up. We follow these sisters, Scarlet and Tella. It's hard to tell the plot without spoiling the first few books, but it was really good. I love the romance, the world. I miss this word so much. I love the magic in it, and it just really lived up to my expectations. And I will like never forget the series. It's definitely one of my all-time favorites because of this book. It was so good. I love it. Number 4 goes to Broken Night, and then number 3 goes to Pretty Reckless, and I'm going to talk about them together because Broken Night and Pretty Reckless is part of the same series. Broken Night is book 1, Pretty Reckless is book 2. Broken Night follows this girl named Luna who has selective mutism, so she doesn't speak willingly, like she chooses not to speak, and this guy named Night, and it just kind of follows their love story, and it's very heartbreaking and emotional, and I feel like I can't even reread this book because it will break me. Like, this book broke me. It was really good. But I'm not going to get into what it's about because it's really better if you go in not knowing anything. But it's a beautiful love story that will literally break your heart. And then we have number 3, which is Pretty Reckless. And Pretty Reckless follows Daria and Pen, who are also friends with Luna and Night from Broken Night. Pretty Reckless was just a little bit better than Broken Night. It was really good. And the next book comes out so soon. It comes out next month. I'm so excited. If you haven't read the series, you really should start. I believe it's called the All Saints High series. And the love stories are just absolutely amazing and heartbreaking, and it gives you a lot of feels, and I really love these characters. So yeah, Pretty Reckless, Broken Night, and the next book, Angry God, coming out in February. Number 2, this goes to Kill Switch by Penelope Douglas, which came out, I believe, in early 2019. Kill Switch, oh my god, yes! Kill Switch is the third book in the Devil's Night series. The first book is Corrupt, and then it's Hideaway, which I just finished reading. I mean, I reread it, because I reread all of her books. She's amazing. To speak very generally, the series is about these guys going to jail, and now they're out of jail, and they're taking on revenge on the girls that sort of is the reason they're in jail. And they're just very angry, and now they're out, and it's like very dark, suspenseful, scary. I love it. So Kill Switch is the third book, which follows Damon and Winter, and she is the reason he went to jail, kind of. Yeah, she is. And you just follow their story, and this whole series is really good. And the next book is coming out this year, which I'm really excited for, because I love all these characters. I reread every book in the series all the time. When I'm bored, I just reread it, because I really love the series. So yeah. Oops. Okay, now we're at number 1. Number 1 is the best book I read in 2019, and it goes to The Wicked King by Holly Black, which was so good. It was, in my opinion, it was the best book out of the entire Cruel Prince series. It's the book that made me love this series, because I talked about Queen of Nothing earlier, and I feel like The Cruel Prince it was good, but like it wasn't that good. And then this book came, and it made me fall in love with all the characters. It's basically the book that made me love the series, because it was just that good. I feel like the romance, it was done so well. The ending of this book absolutely broke my heart, and I thought about this series every day after this book. This book made me like obsessed with the series. It was so well done. It was so well written. Holly Black is an amazing writer. Her quotes are everything. And this book, I love the dynamic between Cardan and Jude. I love their banter, and I love their betrayal for each other, because they're always betraying each other even though they love each other, and I just really love this book. So that was my top 10 books of 2019. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know below if you also read or liked any of these books, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!